Professor Alvaro Urbano, thank you very much for coming to Lisbon and for accepting to take part of this interview. It's a real pleasure to have you here, and I've got a few questions that some of our patients sent us, and I'd like you to answer in a way that they can understand.
Okay.
That's for lay people. So I know you've been very much involved with the production of CAR T cells. So one of the questions I have here is concerning what are the main bottlenecks of the CAR T cell production, and how can one solve these bottlenecks?
Okay. So first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to be here in Lisbon. It is a real pleasure to be with you again. That we are very old friends, it's a pleasure. We are producing our own cars, and there is a bottleneck in as well producing the car. The reason being that there are so many patients in need for having a car, that we are having many patients from different parts of Spain at the same time. So although we have several machines to produce the cars, is not enough. So we have a bottleneck for producing cars. The solution is being decentralizing the production of the cars. So we are trying now to train other hospitals in Spain for producing themselves the cars for their patients.
So you've been able to overcome the technical difficulties of producing CAR T cells.
It
has taken a long time.
Biologically speaking, it's a very complex procedure, but technically speaking, we have currently bioreactors that are semi-automatic. So for technicians, for ourselves, is not extremely complicated, although biologically it's quite complex.
Yes, because you've got the machine running for how long ago? How long have you been producing CAR T cells?
The median is for CAR for ALL and for acute lymphoblastic leukemia and non-Hodgkin lymphoma is 8 days. For multiple myeloma patients is 9 days, because we need more CARs, more cells for multiple myeloma. So we keep on the oven, we keep 1 day more.
Okay. The next question is more or less related to this. It is possible to keep CAR T cells for future treatment if should a relapse happen?
Yeah, this is a critical point currently, because CARs are extremely effective in eliminating the disease. But some of the cases, unfortunately, relapse. The reasons being is that the CAR is so specific of one target that this strength is also its weakness. Because if the cell loses the target, the CAR will not be effective. So we are now working with preparing CARs with 2 targets. Targeting not only one antigen but 2 antigens, trying to solve this problem of the high specificity.
So do you think it makes sense in any way, to have a surplus production and keep half of it in the fridge and just give the other half to the patients and use it for later?
Yeah, is what we are doing, is what we do. What we do is to have always a backup. So we administer like 1 to 3 times 10 to the 6 per kilogram CARs per patient, but we keep on the frozen, we have the same quantity of cells, because if the relapse keeps the antigen, so it's not due to a loss of the antigen, the CAR will work. And so we reinfuse the CAR, but the problem for the patient is that trying to cure the patient, we need not only this second infusion of the CAR, but to complement this second infusion with an allogenic bone marrow transplant. Okay. So the first infusion is just for trying to avoid allogenic bone marrow transplant. If it is not enough and the patient relapses, we try to enter again into complete remission of the patient, but we must complement
that
with an allogeneic bone marrow transplant.
Thank you very much. Is it possible to make CAR T cells from healthy donors, third party?
Yeah,
this
is a challenge. There are two different things. One is that CARs produced in the academy, in a hospital, is not something critical to prepare CARs from a healthy donor, because we have the patient, we have enough T cells for preparing the CAR or for this patient. So from an academic point of view, probably it's not so critical. From a logistic point of view, for, let's say, for a pharma company or for preparing CARs for a huge quantity of patients, that would be ideal, just to have on the bench, just to have CARs ready for any single patient. What's the difficulty? The difficulty is that we are against the biology, in the sense that if we prepare CARs from cells of the patient, that would be an autologous, that would be cells of the patient. The immune system of the patient will tolerate very well these cells because they are their cells, If it is an allogenic cell, is against the biology. So to engraft, to incorporate allogenic cells to a patient, the patient will try to reject these cells. So this needs to modify these allogenic cells in some way that maybe ameliorates the functional capacity of this cell, and also we need to treat the patient with very high immunosuppressive drugs to avoid the rejection. So currently, if possible, an autologous CAR is giving better results than an allogenic CAR. But in the future, who knows?
Yes. Well, thank you very much.
It has been a pleasure.
It was a real pleasure having you with us, and I'm sure our patients will be very happy to listen to your explanations.